Several years ago, an esteemed member of our group became a Warframe evangelist. He convinced me to try the game, and I didn't like it. There were a lot of things that made me put the game down, and I was actually sad about it because I wanted to like it. I have followed the company that makes Warframe. I followed how they treat their players and their free-to-play model. This is a company I've wanted to support, and I've wanted to be part of their community. Sadly, there was a lot to Warframe that just didn't catch me. So I watched streams and I supported the company with some clicks and shares, opting for other games instead. In the recent months, though, our dear Rami had convinced me to try Warframe again. I actually downloaded it weeks ago, but had to move, so I hadn't jumped in yet. I started from scratch, not remembering a damn thing about the gameplay, except that I got a dog. That's going to be important later. My initial reaction was surprise. Everything had changed. Your first introduction to the game was a really well done and well voiced cinematic that kind of started you wanting more of the story. Then I was taken into the tutorial missions, which I expected, where I learned some basics of movement, basics of gameplay, and ran right to my ship with one more solo mission. After that, I was ready to play with my friends, and I was kind of transfixed on the dog. I killed the dog! Aren't I supposed to take this dog with me?
That's a later quest.
No, I was gonna say I was supposed to save that dog.
Wild Kubro are still hostile.
Can I pet that dog?
Can you pet other people's dogs?
I think you can if you invite them onto your ship.
Okay, I'll let her pet my dog then, so she can pet a dog.
So bad at this game.
Yeah, you're kind of going.
That's why we learn.
I was going towards the dog. Okay, the only thing I know is that I have a dog, and I'm just like, oh wait, can I have that one? What really got me was how quickly I could jump in and just play with other people. By this time, I at least knew the basics of gameplay. I didn't say I was good at it. I said I knew it. We all know I suck at video games. Warframe is going to be no exception. Even though I was in tutorial missions, I was still able to quickly become a part of the community and play with others and get into some open world content really early on. It was really helpful for me to have a couple of experienced friends there to help me out, give me some tips. It was nice. I kind of treated it like a hack and slash at first, thinking maybe I could unalive everything, even inanimate objects, and that's not so much of a thing in Warframe. There's a little more nuance than beat everything up. I really enjoyed the fact that I was thrown into the story right away. I like games with story. I like games that are story-driven. But what I enjoyed was that I wasn't forced into some kind of linear progression. I have a choice. I can play along on my quest and I can follow the story. I can go mess around with some missions on planets, or I can go and do stuff with my friends. As long as my friends have access to most places, not all, they can take me with them. Now, a lot of story-driven or story-rich games give you kind of this illusion of choice and progression when you don't actually have it. Warframe seems to actually give you a real choice. Yeah, sure, you have to do story at some point, but there's nothing pressuring me to do it and rush through it just to catch up with my friends. Instead, I was able to explore and have a little bit of fun and just figure things out. We did some missions together. I ended up with a part for a Warframe. Then Rami took us to the fights where the rest of those parts drop, and then some of the planets where the components drop. By my first night, I was building my first Warframe, and I thought that was pretty cool. After that, I decided to follow the story and went to a place that I believe any Warframe player is going to recognize with one of the coolest songs ever.
Till we know the air and water flowing hard, the land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe.
Really can't help but sing along, can you? By the way, I love the Longest John's cover of that song. Really love it. Anyway, by this time, I felt like the entire universe had opened up to me. It hadn't, but that's how I felt. Warframe has this crazy sandboxy feel to it that I'm really liking. Not to mention the new player experience has changed greatly, and it's actually really nice. You don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel pigeonholed into things, and I felt like that the first time. Instead of that, I feel like each new thing is kind of taken bit by bit, giving me time to learn how to do it and get the hang of it. My first experience with Warframe felt clunky, it felt overwhelming, and I was so confused. This new experience was entirely different for me. It really did feel like I was playing a different game. It feels intuitive, open, and made learning the basics of the game pretty easy. Yeah, sure, Warframe is kind of a wiki game. Just like Stardew Valley, you want to have a solid wiki opened up to figure out exactly what you're going to do or maybe what you're planning. That goes especially when it comes to building parts, getting components, building weapons, or building Warframes. Honestly, that's an aspect of a game you like or you don't. I personally don't hate it because I kind of enjoy creating a bit of a plan for myself in a game. I was pleasantly surprised by Warframe this time around. As a brand new player, because that is what I am, it was way better than I expected it to be. No, I don't know the inner workings of the game yet. I'm still a noob messing around on my baby mag Warframe. At least I learned how to change her colors, though. Oh wait, I did build a rhino. I was told he might be a good choice for me, so let's try him on for size. Not too shabby. My first week in Warframe, and I've already accomplished quite a bit. At least I feel like I have. Yeah, I wasn't sure if Warframe would be the game for me. I thought maybe I would have to say again, yeah, I understand why you like it. It's just not my cup of tea. But I am really glad that I've listened to some friends and have given it another shot. I don't know where we're going with it here, but I do know I'm enjoying it, and I know that I recommend it. I'm just not happy about one thing. I still don't have that dog.